let me tell you what happened.
You are not going to believe this.
No ways, that actually happened.
Inspired by the kind of story you'd find on Reddit, you know, the ones where someone starts reading and immediately thinks, oh no, no. This is one of those. It begins, as so many disasters do, with a person who is simply trying to be helpful. That person was Alex, and the one who suffered for it, that was Sam, poor, lovely, entirely innocent Sam.
Okay. Before you judge me, I need you to understand that I was just trying to do a good thing. That's it, that's all I was doing. Good intentions, pure heart, genuinely.
He booked our boss on a round trip to Helsinki, our boss who was sitting in his office, 20 meters away, on a Tuesday morning.
Let's go back to the beginning. Sam and Alex worked together at a mid-sized marketing company in Newcastle. They share a small open-plan office with about 12 other colleagues and one very territorial plant that Alex once accidentally watered with cold coffee. The plant somehow survived. What did not survive, at least not with dignity, was Sam's professional reputation on the third Tuesday of October. It started with a spreadsheet, a shared inbox, and Alex having what he described as, quote, a great idea.
So here's the thing, our boss, right, Mr. Hartley, he'd been talking all week about this conference in Helsinki, big travel industry event. He kept saying he wanted someone to look into flights, sort out the itinerary, book him a hotel. And Sam was supposed to do it, but Sam was buried in the Henderson account and looked like he was about to actually cry into his keyboard.
I was not about to cry, I was stressed. There is a difference. I had 17 browser tabs open and someone had eaten my lunch from the fridge again. I was holding it together beautifully, thank you very much.
He was absolutely about to cry, so I thought, you know what'll help. I'll sort the travel arrangements. I'll find a direct flight, book a return journey, sort the whole thing. How hard can it be?
A question that has preceded every catastrophe in human history. How hard can it be? Alex opened the company's travel booking system, a system he had used exactly once before to book himself a taxi to the airport, which he missed anyway. He pulled up Mr. Hartley's profile. He found a flight to Helsinki, return journey included, departure the following morning. Excellent. He filled in the passenger details. He hit confirm. He felt, by all accounts, extremely pleased with himself.
Done, I literally sorted the whole thing in like 12 minutes. Direct flight, return journey already included, hotel near the venue, the full itinerary emailed straight to Mr. Hartley. I went to make a coffee and I felt great. Genuinely great.
And then Mr. Hartley appeared at my desk, which was unusual because Mr. Hartley never comes to our desks. He makes us go to him. It's his whole thing. So when I looked up and saw him standing there, I knew something had gone wrong. He had his reading glasses pushed up on his forehead and he was holding a printout.
The printout was the booking confirmation. Alex had, with tremendous confidence and very little attention to detail, booked the return journey in the wrong direction. He had set the departure city as Helsinki and the destination as Newcastle, which meant that on the booking Mr. Hartley appeared to already be in Helsinki, departing from there the following morning and arriving in Newcastle, where he currently was, standing in the office, holding the printout.
He just looked at me and said very calmly, Sam, according to this itinerary, I'm currently in Finland. And I said, you are not Mr. Hartley. And he said, I am aware of that, Sam. And I wanted the floor to swallow me whole.
Okay, but to be fair, to be completely fair, the interface on that booking system is so confusing. There were two fields that both said location, and I picked the wrong one. That's a design flaw. That's not a me flaw.
It was absolutely a you flaw, Alex.
Now you might think this is where the story ends. A small booking error easily corrected, a mild embarrassment quickly forgotten. But no, because when Sam opened the booking confirmation to fix it, he discovered something else. Alex, in his 12-minute whirlwind of helpfulness, had not just reversed the departure and arrival cities. He had also somehow, and to this day no one is entirely sure how, booked Mr. Hartley into a layover, a 3-hour layover. In Bergen, Norway, on a direct flight.
I genuinely do not know how that happened. I clicked direct specifically. I remember clicking it. I looked right at it.
There is no stopover option on a direct flight, Alex. There isn't. It doesn't exist. What you somehow managed to do, and I still don't fully understand the mechanics of this, is book 2 separate flights and combine them into one reservation. The system flagged it as unusual. There was actually a warning pop-up.
I might have clicked past the warning.
He clicked past the warning.
So there it was. Mr. Hartley, who needed to fly from Newcastle to Helsinki for a conference, had been booked on a return journey starting in Helsinki, with a 3-hour layover in Bergen, arriving back in Newcastle, where he already was, the following morning at 6:45. Sam stared at the screen for a long moment. Alex appeared at his shoulder holding a mug of tea, which he offered with the energy of a man who did not yet fully understand what he had done.
Tea, I made you tea. You looked stressed earlier, so oh, that's not right, is it? That's not what I meant to do.
No, Alex, that is not what you meant to do.
Can we cancel it? Like just cancel and rebook. How long do we have before there's a fee?
The cancellation window was 2 hours. You booked it 2 hours and 14 minutes ago.
The cancellation fee, as it turned out, was not catastrophic, but it was enough that Sam had to go and explain the situation to the finance team, specifically to a woman named Diane, who had the energy of someone who had seen every possible human error and had long since stopped being surprised by any of them. Sam stood at Diane's desk and explained that a travel booking had been made incorrectly and needed to be cancelled and redone. Diane asked who had made the booking. Sam, to his enormous credit, paused for a very long second before saying, with great dignity, that it had been a shared effort.
I am not a grass. That's just who I am as a person. I stood there and I said it was a shared effort, and I looked Diane in the eye and I did not flinch. I was protecting Alex, who absolutely did not deserve protecting.
You're a good person, Sam. Genuinely, the best.
Do not flatter me right now. I'm still in the middle of the story.
Once the cancellation was processed, Sam sat down to rebook the whole thing properly. One-way ticket, Newcastle to Helsinki, direct. No stopovers, no layovers, no mysterious detours through Scandinavia. He checked the departure and arrival cities 3 times. He read the itinerary aloud to himself. He confirmed the passenger details. He was just about to hit the final confirm button when his computer froze.
It just stopped. Everything. The cursor wouldn't move. The screen was frozen on the payment page. I could see the confirm button. I could see the booking. I just couldn't click anything.
Okay, to be clear, that one was not my fault. That was IT's fault. The whole system went down for like 20 minutes.
The system went down because you had 12 browser tabs open doing quote-unquote research for the original booking, and you crashed the whole shared network. IT told us this afterwards, with a very specific look directed at you.
I was being thorough.
By the time the system came back online, the price of the direct flight to Helsinki had gone up by £83. Because of course it had. Sam stared at the new price. He thought about his life choices. He thought about whether he had been a good person overall and whether the universe was giving him feedback. Then he took a very deep breath, approved the new price using the emergency travel budget, which required a second signature from Mr. Hartley, and walked across the office to explain to his boss why the flight he'd just cancelled now cost £83 more to rebook.
I knocked on his door and I said, Mr. Hartley, I need to update you on the travel arrangements. And he looked up and he said very slowly, are you telling me the price has changed? And I said, there was a brief window when the fare was adjusting. And he said, Sam, how long have you been in travel? And I said, I am in marketing, sir.
I was listening from behind the partition wall. I had a hand over my mouth the entire time. I genuinely felt terrible.
You felt terrible, and yet you were also, I noticed, eating a biscuit.
Stress eating, that's a real thing.
Mr. Hartley signed the updated approval form. He did not ask further questions. He simply signed it with the calm of a man who had made peace with the fact that his office contained at least one person whose relationship with travel booking systems was, at best, adversarial. Sam returned to his desk, confirmed the new booking, printed the itinerary himself on actual paper from the actual printer, and walked it back to Mr. Hartley's office personally. The itinerary showed a one-way flight from Newcastle to Helsinki, departure city, Newcastle, arrival city, Helsinki, no stopovers, no layovers, no surprise appearances in Bergen.
Mr. Hartley looked at it for about 4 seconds. Then he looked at me. Then he said, "This looks correct." And I said, "Yes, sir, it does." And he said, "Good, let's not do the other thing again." And I said, "Absolutely not, sir." And then I walked back to my desk and I sat down and I looked at Alex and I said absolutely nothing for about 2 full minutes.
The silence was worse than shouting. I want people to know that. The silence was so much worse.
Good.
The story does have a small epilogue. Mr. Hartley went to Helsinki. He attended the conference. He came back 3 days later and described it as very productive. He also, upon his return, implemented a new office policy. All travel arrangements must be approved by Sam personally before any booking is confirmed. No exceptions. This policy was called, informally, the Helsinki Rule. It applied to everyone in the office. But everyone in the office knew who it was really about.
I mean, it's fine. It's completely fine. The Helsinki Rule is a great system and I fully support it. I also want to say on the record that Mr. Hartley did get to Helsinki successfully and had a great time, so really in the end,
Do not finish that sentence.
everything worked out.
I hate you.
No, you don't.
No, I don't. But I want it noted that I protected you to Diane, and I will be bringing that up for at least the next 3 years.
And there you have it. A direct flight that wasn't direct. A return journey that went nowhere. A stopover that shouldn't have existed. A departure city that was really the arrival city. An itinerary printed on paper because trust had been lost. And one cancellation fee that lives forever in the finance records under miscellaneous travel error. If you have ever made a booking mistake at work, or if you've been the Sam in this situation, quietly covering for someone while internally screaming, know that you are not alone. These things happen. They happen in offices everywhere. They just usually don't happen quite so completely, all at once, on a Tuesday morning in October. Until next time,
Did this
safe
make you
travels.
laugh? Drop us a like.
Hit follow and never miss a story.
Subscribe to English Through Stories. Find us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. See you on the next episode.